Hey guys, welcome to the Tar Series 7, and I'm reviewing this, which is the DC Universe Classics, the Spectre, from the DC Comics 75 Years of Superpower series. So this came out in 2009, so about 11 years ago. It was, their 75th anniversary, and they made this guy, so pretty cool. He's a part of the Dark Side wave. I never really bought DC Universe Classics. I did review the Anti-Monitor recently, however, and, I kind of want the Spectre to fight him, since in the comic books, there's that really big fight, and then obviously with the Arrowverse, while it's a little bit different, it's still very cool. And I found them on eBay for a pretty good price, and it is the glow-in-the-dark variant, so that's also really cool, and it's probably my main reason for picking this up. But it comes with a collectible button, which I'll show off in a minute, and also a piece to Dark Side, who was the Build-A-Figure for this series. Now, just to show you how much Mattel really changed with making their action figures from 10 years ago, I mean, you can look at the bio here, huge bio on who the Spectre is, his statistics, all the different characters, like the more recent Mattel packaging. I don't think I have any near me at the moment. Actually, I do. Poison Ivy, but look how short the bio is for Poison Ivy here, and look how big the bio was. I mean, it just shows you how much they kind of changed throughout the years. But yeah, let's open this up. Here we have the button. As you can see, it's pretty cool. It's like Golden Age, got Alan Scott, Jay Garrick, and the original Spectre there. And on the back you have DC 75. So that's pretty cool. I actually really like that. Kind of wish they still did that. It's not like the main thing, but it's pretty neat. And then just to show off Darkseid's little hand really quickly, here you got Darkseid with the Killing Glove, which very reminiscent of the Infinity Gauntlet there. And then you got his regular glove. To be honest, I had never heard of the Killing Glove up until this point. And that kind of surprised me, considering I knew a little bit about Darkseid and, his whole deal, so that's a little weird, actually. But, yeah, always nice to be surprised a little bit. And then, here we have the Spectre. Just taking one little second. Here we go. And it's hard to believe this thing has been in packaging for 11 years. I completely ripped him open. Looks great, looks neat. You'll notice his body is kind of more of this yellowish, kind of green, almost whitish green, just because of the glow-in-the-dark feature, which I will show off in a second here. And they do make a normal version of this, which is just kind of the chalky white that he is in the comic books, where, he's kind of supposed to look kind of kind of creepy like that. So yeah, they did get that appearance right. I kind of prefer the glowingness of it, so I think that's pretty cool. And he's got this hooded cape, which looks really nice. I like how they did it. Cool thing is, too, it's a separate piece, so if you want to turn his head, it's not going to get in the way of it. Then he's got his little collar there that kind of looks like an M. And I'm going to be honest, when the Arrowverse, they made Oliver the Spectre this year, I was a little disappointed that he didn't have a cape. They gave him a cloak, but I think the cape always is one of the coolest things about the Spectre. And he's got green on the hood. I really like the crease and the wrinkles on it, so it actually kind of looks like a cape. It's plastic, but it's very nice, and it doesn't feel like it hinders the articulation, so that's good. Moving around, you can see the muscle detail on him. You can see his pants and his shorts, and then he's got his boots, and he also has his gloves. So pretty good in terms of detailing. You got in terms of articulation, you got a 360 at the head. You can look up and down. 360 at the arm, swing out the shoulder, 360 there, single joint elbows, 360 at the wrist. You have a 360 at the torso and an ab crunch. The legs come forwards, backwards, and outwards. You got a 360 at the thigh, single joint knees, and the feet move up and down. So pretty good for articulation. Just one thing I wanted to point out was he does have these pointed boots, which I think are pretty cool. And yeah, I'm going to show off the glow feature real quick. And as you can see, he glows completely, his head, his arms, his legs, everything about this guy. I only had him on there for a minute, and he's just glowing so bright. You might not be able to see it that well because of my camera, but the glow features on him are very impressive, and this is the main reason I picked this up. I thought it looked so cool, the Spectre, and he actually glows, and I think this is pretty neat. I really do like this feature. As you can see, it's kind of faded. It's starting to fade a little bit, but it does look really good, and it definitely looks better in hand, but you can still kind of see it on the camera a little bit, so that's kind of cool too. But yeah, it's very neat, very cool. Here we have him up against the Anti-Monitor, and as you can see, they're scaled very well. I do like that. I think they look good together. Uh-oh, A-Monitor went down. A lot easier there than any of their other fights, but as you can see, like I said, I think they scale well, and the hypes on these guys does change a little bit. to be honest, to be more realistically speaking. But I do think for what they are, I think they're pretty neat. And yeah, like I said, typically I never really bought DC Universe Classics, but I really like the Anti-Monitor. I really liked him in Crisis on Infinite Earths, the Arrowverse version. I liked him in the comic book too, so I bought him recently, and the Spectre, I got to kind of go with him. I don't know if I'll be picking up or reviewing any more of these just because they're older. I might every once in a while, but I don't intend to make a big thing of it. But yeah, overall I think he's pretty cool actually. Lastly, here's a comparison with the DC Multiverse Arrow figure from 2016. I decided to put him with him for the comparison as opposed to the McFarlane, as this was the one done by Mattel. And, you know, obviously in the comic books, I don't believe Oliver ever became the Spectre, but, you know, I thought that was a pretty cool change they did in the TV show version. And, yeah, so overall, I think it's really neat. Thanks for watching. Please rate, like, and subscribe.